the only conscience cleanser. Christ did not offer himself repeatedly. As a high priest enters the holy places every year with blood not of his own, for then he would have to suffer repeatedly since the foundation of the world. But as it is, he has appeared once for all at the end of the ages to put away sin by the sacrifice of himself. He is not to be taken for granted that there should be a welcome for sinners in heaven. God is holy and pure and perfectly just and righteous. Yet the whole story of the Bible is how such a great and holy God can and does welcome dirty, unholy, filthy people like you and me into his bosom or favor. How can this be? Hebrews chapter 9 verse 25 says that Christ's sacrifice for sin was not like the sacrifice of a Jewish high priest. They came into the holy place early with an animal sacrifice to atone for the sins of the people, for the sins that they have committed. But these verses say Christ did not enter heaven to offer himself repeatedly, for then he would have to suffer repeatedly since the foundation of the world. Hebrews chapter 9 verse 26. If Christ followed the pattern of the priest, then he would have to die yearly. And since the sins to be covered include the sins of Adam and Eve, he would have had to begin his yearly dying at the foundation of the world. But the writer treats this as unthinkable. Why is this unthinkable? What is the reason behind it? Because it would make the death of the Son of God look weak and ineffective. If it has to be repeated year after year for centuries, where would be the triumph? Where would we see the infinite value of the sacrifice of the Son of God? It would vanish in the shamefulness of a yearly suffering and death. There was shame in the cross, but it was a triumphant shame. Jesus despised the shame and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God, recorded in the book of Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 2. This is a gospel of the glory of Christ, the image of God. No matter how dirty or unholy with sin you are, you will see the light of this glory and believe. Friends, you see, God is telling you might be unholy, you might be dirty, though your sins may be as scarlet or as red as crimson, I will make them white as snow. He's saying you don't have to be so perfect in everything that you do, because I bore all of your sins and I died on the cross of Calvary for you and for me. You see, such a loving and caring God we have, who is always ready to welcome us into his favor, into his bosom, into his kingdom. What else do we need when we have such a lovely God? What else do we need when we have such a wonderful, caring, compassionate companion every time, in every trouble that we are into? He's always there, friends. Don't worry. May this thought be in your mind as you go about this day. May your life be an exemplary life to others today. This is Edwin for Breakthrough Today.